Hello. I've been challenged once again by a familiar piece of scripture, something that I know, but it's just touched my heart. It's a passage from the book of Proverbs. Now, some bits of the book of Proverbs we know very well, and some we don't read until it's suddenly read to us in church, or somebody else comes across it and quotes it to us. But this is a bit which I think if you have been in church, if you've been a Christian, it might be familiar to you. It's in chapter 3 and it starts like this. My child, do not forget my teaching, but let your heart keep my commandments. For length of days and years of life and abundant welfare they will give you. And that sounds really encouraging. Trust in God. And He's going to give you length of life. And it goes on. Do not let loyalty and faithfulness forsake you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on the tablet of your heart. So you will find favour and good repute in the sight of God and of people. It's still encouraging, isn't it? It's the next bit that I find really challenging. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not rely on your own insight. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make straight your paths. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord, and turn away from evil. It will be a healing for your flesh, and a refreshment for your body. And that's the bit that challenges me. We've now been almost 4 months in lockdown, and those lockdowns are easing. We can now go out and go to the pub in a socially distanced way. We can go and have a haircut. There are other things that we can do, but we're fearful. We found it difficult navigating this period. What is it safe to do? What is it not safe to do? And suddenly it seems an awful lot more things are safe. And yet at the same time, there are other parts in the country where the incidence of COVID-19 is rising. There are other parts of the world which have gone back into lockdown. It's still frightening. And it's frightening because we're relying on our own instincts and our own knowledge. And that knowledge isn't enough. It's that phrase in the middle. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not rely on your own insight. In the old language, it was trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Because that's the way we navigate, isn't it? That's the way we find our world. We apply our knowledge. We apply our reason. And what this passage is saying is not that at all. It doesn't mean don't be reasonable, don't think about it, but overall, trust in God. And I realise, and I'm sure plenty of others of us as well realise, that perhaps I'm not bringing all of my concerns to God, because I can't rely on Him unless I'm in constant conversation with Him, unless I am praying, unless there's a dialogue going on with God. Not that I just bring my concerns to Him, but that I hear from Him. If I am leaning not on my own understanding, then I need to be hearing from God. As things change, as my knowledge, I discover, is woefully inadequate, as is everyone else's, we don't know what the future is going to be like. We can make an educated guess, but only God knows. And we can only access that if we're praying and spending time with God and sharing our deepest concerns and listening to His heart. Can I encourage you to trust in the Lord? not to lean on or rely on your own understanding or what you read in the papers or see online, but to spend more time with God. Now, as we have more freedoms, when the temptation is to go out and do all the things that we couldn't do for the last 4 months, to hold back, to spend more time with God, and to rely on Him, to believe what it says in the Bible, that He knows best and that He has your best interests at heart. Be encouraged. God is sovereign. God does know what your future is. And God will tell you how to behave, to think, as He comforts you. Keep safe.